Tuesday. Yesterday, I did welcome. It is Monday, but in the title, I put in Tuesday as the day. Don't ask me why. It has to do with autocorrect, frankly. But yeah, I put in Tuesday, but it was really Monday. And now it's Tuesday. So now we have all the new books. Remind everyone that we're closing early today at 6 p.m. because I'm going to Zeke's sixth grade graduation. That's right. 2 weeks ago, I went to Tirza's high school graduation. Today I go to Zeke's elementary school graduation, and then on Thursday I won't be going because it's while the store is open. Lev has a moving up ceremony because he's moving up to a different class. So once all that's done at the end of the week, we can talk about events. I've had a lot of local people bring me zines, which is going to be my social media post later today. We have 5 different zines, 3 of which are already out today. The other 2 I'm putting out tomorrow that we got this week. And we've got Andrew Cronky. Tomorrow will be Bloodrick's collected volume coming out. So I definitely want to put some sort of event together. Once the graduations, I was just going through all the graduations that are still happening. Once all that's done at the end of the week, you can think again. Joe, I keep pulling single issues out for you. I'm pretty sure you don't have anything from Marvel, which is my last single issue grouping to go through. But just to be thorough, more like just to get it done, I'm going to get the single issues done before I start sending people orders. Joe, I want to ship out an order. There's a few other people whose orders I'd like to ship out to them. I want to email and contact. And I don't know, it's gorgeous today. It's in the high 80s, but the rest of the week's going to be even hotter in the top of the 80s into the 90s. So I imagine people who have a choice are going out today. It's been kind of nonstop. I've gotten some stuff done, but not everything. I really wanted to jump on this live stream. The Dracula tie-in. There we go. There's a Marvel book. I think that is this week. So well done, Joe. I got a bunch done, but I did not get to show off the new books. I haven't gotten to do a bunch of things, including get the Marvel stuff away. So let's look at the new books right now, and then we will talk. We've got Joanne Starrer and Ornella Greco doing Total Suplex of the Heart, a really wonderful slice of life wrestling graphic novel by someone who really loves wrestling. Joanne also the author of Sirens of New York with her husband Carrie Randolph, which we have on the other side of this display. This is one of those rare, this is just a great looking little graphic novel. I don't think it's super deep, super meaningful or anything like that, but it's just wonderful, so we grabbed that. We've got the new Now anthology. Fantagraphics started the Now anthology in, I believe, 2016 or 17. Kind of redoing the sort of stuff that you used to see in print comic journals. There'd be 1 or 2 comics per issue. This is a whole big magazine of people who have books already at Fantagraphics doing shorter works, sometimes that will later be collected. All sorts of amazing creators. There has not been one, I think, for 18 months or maybe even longer, but it's always a great cast of people and wonderful comics. So we got a couple of those up. The next, Grendel Omnibus. Grendel Tales is a really fascinating take in the Grendel universe because at this point, they had gone 1,000 years into the future, thousands of years into the future of the Grendel storyline, and this is just random stories with different Grendels that maybe you've seen or alluded to, or even some totally original ones in those thousands of years. So it's a really fun, really great way to wrap up your Grendel Omnibus collection. The new collection will have the latest one that they did where they're in space, but I don't know when that's going to get an omnibus because it's only about this much, so we'll see. Mighty Nine, Cadassius Clay gets his own origins. We have the Beauregard Lionette. Interestingly, Joe, this you had on hold, but I'm not sure you got that one. But anyway, that's available. One of our self-published books we'll get back to in a second. Operation Sunshine, a really fun little vampire book drawn by the great David Ruban. Love David Ruban. This is a world where vampires are very real. Someone has recently become a vampire and is learning all the rules, while someone else who's been a vampire for a while is trying to destroy the hegemony, the people who run all vampire society and take down how messed up a world it is. Evil Eye C, Ozega Samanki, really wonderful, instable comic creator, doing a little bit of a murder mystery adventure story. Kind of imagine the Lesbian X-Files, done in a very cartoony style. Welcome. All right, help you guys find anything?
No, I think he's just kind of looking.
All right, I'm just showing off some new books on the internet, but feel free to look around. The store goes farther back. We've got a whole kids and young adult room. All right.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem. All right, we've got a brand new little golden book. I Am Katara, just like we had the Zuko one came out about a month ago. Now we have a Katara one. Toronto-kun and Kuzama-kun, a work romance BL. Showa Shotan Volume 5. It's a wonderful series drawn by Takashi Obata, the creator of, oh man, I just blanked on it, Death Note, Bakuman, and it's all about comedy, manzai comedy in Japan. Been reading this one and loving it. Speaking of stuff I read and love, I do not know any of the Critical Role guys. You guys can have a fight in the comments if you want. I just don't know from it. Tezuka's Shakespeare manga. That's Tezuka did a bunch of adaptations of different. Oh, sorry, yeah, that's just a little golden book. Little review. We have a Zuko one in the kids section
like
as well. Yeah, yeah, exactly. It's like some kid whose parents make them watch the show, even though they're a little too young for it, can grab that.
It's like my Harry Potter.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's a whole bunch of different Shakespeares. Really fun stuff. Fool Night, a new graphic novel by Yasuda. A bunch of my customers were excited to get this one. I have a feeling it's going to be one of the ones that goes pretty quickly. A few other new manga number ones. The Monster Wants to Eat Me, a Yuri monster story. Sinner of the Deep Sea. This is Tomy. Gorgeous art in a fantasy mermaid setting. Excited to read this one too. Latest volume of I'm a Witch and My Crush Wants Me to Make a Love Potion, the light novel that turned into a graphic novel series. Second, Ako and Bambi, very slice of life, beautiful kind of risographed, simple color webcomic turned into print edition. The new Danganronpa comic book. Chiaki Namani is one of the Danganronpa 2 characters. Whole graphic novel from her perspective. Power Palace, All My Bicycles. This is another Fantagraphic, beautiful book in ink tones and wash, all about one person's life as told through her relationship with different bicycles she has owned. It's another that's great. The Suki one is in the final season when she's in prison, and then at the end she comes and helps them. So this fills in what she was doing when she was in prison.
When did she go to prison?
In the last season, when Azula takes over Ba Sing Se and she's fighting, they arrest her.
Oh, yeah.
And at the end, she shows up. Right, so this is in between those. Suffrage Song, this is Caitlin Cass doing a really fascinating historical take on the suffragette movement and how much of it was forgotten and how much was changed over a historical record about how these people fought, just so that we can sanitize things as we often do in history. Escape Pod Comics. Hey, Darren. Yep, I got a Hulk for you last week. It came out last week. I got a Hulk for you aside. Yep. All right, we're here till 6 today. We're here till 6 p.m. today. Oh, okay. I'll see you soon then. All right. Bye. Whenever we have to change hours for events, I feel like I need to point that out. All right. Let's take a second over here. This young man's way while he looks at books. I did say that I wanted to make sure I showed off art and books, so let's start with something that I'm going to actually be showing officially off tomorrow. It's officially going out with the new issues, but this is Amber Brewer, who's local. She did the Cauldron Con this fall. She's a FIT graduate in comics, and she just brought me her new zines, Electric Eel. What I really like about Electric Eels is that it's got little flappy pop-up things, all handmade. Got a little pull tab, like just really clever, fun stuff. So she's got that. Definitely a worthwhile read. Literally handmade, printed by handmade, and this is the one that she showed me. Superstitious Luck. about black cats and the history of
Yeah,
them.
yeah.
And again, they fold out. They're double printed. Luck things in
Let
it.
me see the first page. Let me see one. So I can
Just
give it-
really, really great comic making, really hand done by someone young, just getting in there. These two are going to go officially in my post tomorrow, officially out with the new single issues tomorrow. But if you're interested in either, let me know. Really, the important thing with the new releases is how little we actually have. A lot of these books I have 1 or 2 copies of because they're interesting and they look great, but no one ordered them, and we have 20 something books coming out. Conrad ordered a beautiful book, Brownstone. It's getting a huge release. You take the Black Cat zine, okay, Joe. Getting this huge release in Baltimore at our friends Dreamers and Make
Is
Believe
that it? It's not?
comic store. All right, you guys are all set?
I said, oh, well, then you can get more if you're going to pay. I'll pay for 2.
No, we're gonna go to the store.
Huh?
We're gonna go to the Pepper store.
Okay.
There are a bunch more Avatar graphic novels. There's just a couple of them are out of print right now, so we just went with these thing ones.
Okay.
2822. And would you like a bag for them?
You want a bag? Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
All
you
right.
want a bag.
Excellent. We're restocking the other ones, which are actually like direct sequels
Perfect.
later in the summer. You can just tap right there.
Thank you so much.
You're very
Junior.
welcome.
It's yours.
Well, definitely boring. One of the joys of doing. All right. Text or email the receipt if you want it.
No, it's okay.
All right, and you're all set.
My cup, right?
One of the joys of doing the live stream from the shop while the shop is open is that I will take customers and do that, so it can definitely end up being a little bit boring. I think we make up for it in all the comic stuff we show off, but you know, you never know. Very interesting to notice that somewhere around the 8-minute mark lately, very lately, just recently on YouTube, we've been getting lots and lots of people coming in randomly. So it must be after 8 minutes, like a big promotion. Anyway, yes, Suffrage Song we were just looking at. It's a really great one, but like I said, it's a wonderful book, but we've only got 1 copy of it. The Brownstone book that I was trying to talk about before, I didn't get any shelf copies. No one ordered it. It's not a super cheap book, and it's not by a creator that's well known. The last 3 things I didn't want to talk about while we had that young man in the store are the 3 new Iron Circus releases. One of them came out last week. One of them came out in May, but had an incredibly small release and didn't get to the bookstores. But now we have Smut Peddler X. This is the 10-year anniversary Smut Peddler. It's got old stories and new stories from this incredible line of books that launched the Iron Circus Company. We've got the new Smut Peddler, My Monster Girlfriend, which is all short stories that are female presenting monsters. It's got that My Monster foil that all the covers have. And the new Iron Circus one, this came out actually in May, but we get our stuff through. Where are we? We are in Long Island, New York. Huntington, Long Island. Failure to Launch, Ill-Fated Futures. This is an anthology of, what's the right way of putting this? Dystopias that came through utopias. Well-meaning utopias that became dystopias, different stories set in them. Really great creators. Kel McDonald is one of my favorite editors over at Iron Circus. We've got Ryan North, Ryan Estrada, Blue Delinquente, all wonderful people doing books in there. So we really got a bit of everything. The last stuff to look at are more self-published books. We've got Steve Walker, Black Forge Chronicles. Steve Walker has been working in and around comic books for about 30 years. He's inked and done background work for tons of major companies and artists in the industry. Black Forge Chronicles is kind of his saga meets A Distant Soil. It's war-torn lovers in a crazed world. Just brought it out for a show, I think 2 weeks ago is when he debuted it, and now we've got it here in the shop. And then Clover Carrot over on Instagram and all the social medias brought us both her graphic novel, Apracity, which is a very slice-of-life romance embarrassment book that I believe was her senior project, as well as her sketchbook, which I think go really well together. You really see the choices she makes when she's doing sequential versus, drawing. But yeah, another young creator straight out of school, trying to get their books out there. I had a long talk with both Amber and Clover about self-publishing and the world of self-publishing. I sent them both. I told them both that specifically Iron Circus, which we just looked at a whole bunch of books from, are spikes in a lot of podcasts and things about 7 or 8 years ago, talking about setting up the industry, talking about how the industry moves. We talked about the local con, the Cradle Con, that Amber went to and brought me this a copy to look at months ago, how that hopefully that'll take off more, and just stuff like that. This is the thing about comics, is that no one explodes out of nowhere in comics. Odds are, if somebody's becoming a big comic creator, if they're getting work at one of the big 5 publishing companies, or they have a first, second book, a Scholastic book, Drawn and Quarterly book, odds are that they've been hustling and pushing their stuff for years elsewhere. There's an occasional, there's an Amel Ferris, but even Amel Ferris, my favorite thing is Monsters. She didn't send Fantagraphics in a finished manuscript of My Favorite Thing is Monsters. She shared it with friends. Eventually someone sent it to Gary Groth or whoever at Fantagraphics and was like, look at this, you've got to see this book. And they said, when you're finished, we'll take it. It's a whole thing, and it really makes it interesting, because I see people say, well, why are these creators doing Kickstarters? Why are they hustling some new book? Don't they make enough money off of their famous Avengers work, whatever? And it's like, no, they really don't. Those are work for hire contracts that pay them very little. They have audiences and fans who love specific works they've done, who will try out new things of theirs, but they make so little money on a new comic book that it can't be something that, Declan Shalvey once told me that working on a new comic book, it's not work for hire. Working on a self-published book, or not a self-published book, sorry, an Image published book or a Dark Horse published book or something like that, if you're lucky, you don't lose money. That's what you're going for in the current market. You're looking to not lose money. A work for hire gig like him writing Thundercats, or him drawing Punisher or something like that, you're looking for bills that pay you enough to give you free time to make that other work. But that other work isn't paying you more money to make more of that work most of the time. So it's a very weird balance that they have to push, and that's people who are known and have careers. Before you know that, I was talking to both of these young creators, and I was talking about one of the important things that you have to do is, one of the important things you have to do is price out what it's costing you. How much does it cost you to make each book, and how much time does it take, and how much money can you make in doing that time before you can even figure out what you're charging for each book? So it's really something to consider. Tomorrow we're going to look at a whole bunch more single issues. I got some great DC stuff that I already took out, but we'll just save it when we look at all the other singles tomorrow. Anyone interested, I see we do have a few people hopping in again now. Anyone interested can go back any of our Tuesdays and Wednesdays and see tons of new books that have come out over the past few months. Till tomorrow, remember, damn it, babies, you got to be kind.